There isn't a topic that gets people talking more than squatters at a cocktail party, and I've been getting a lot of questions recently. There's been some legislation and stuff in the news, so I'll tell you what I'm telling people at cocktail parties. Who am I kidding? I don't get to go to that many cocktail parties. You should invite me to one. So if you need to send the invite, send it to Jen Rollins, real estate investment educator, advocate, and broker at One Focus Property Management, and I will be there with bells on. So what do we talk about? Well, we talk about how it's really an overhyped problem, at least here in North Central Pennsylvania, where we operate, and I've operated now for over 20 years. I see three types of squatters, and it's really important to think about them in the different ways so that you know how to prevent and deal with them when they happen. The most common that I've ever seen is what I call the opportunist squatter. This is a person who's looking for shelter. They're looking to get out of the elements, and typically this is going to happen in winter, and you're going to find them in basements, in laundry rooms, in vacant apartments, things like that. So once in a while, sometimes it's like family member and friends of other people in the building who kind of let them know there's a vacant unit they can take advantage of. But these are just people taking advantage. And when confronted with the fact that they're there and should not be, they leave. That is what makes the opportunist the opportunist. They do not claim or feel as though they really have any rightful ability to live in that place. The second kind of squatter I called is the scammed squatter. This is somebody who actually thinks they belong there. They made a business arrangement with somebody. So a scammer took probably a listing, knew that the property was vacant, and rented it, taking the money from these people and acting like the landlord. And then you show up as the rightful owner of the property and discover them there. And then that's a problem. This is a little bit more complicated to work out because when the police arrive, you're not going to easily be able to have these people just evicted. There's going to be a process by which you need to prove, probably through a landlord-tenant complaint at the local district magistrate, that these people are not rightfully leasing the property. If they can produce a signed lease, if they can produce receipts, this is going to end up in court and likely would not be something that the police would intervene on, at least once the people have moved in. Now, I have seen this happen. I have seen this happen locally, not that frequently. And in all the cases I've been involved in, we've caught them in the process of moving in. So we've been able to prevent them from truly taking residency, and it was disaster averted. And the last kind of squatter is the one I think we all fear the most, the one that's talked about in the news, and the one that is a very real threat in your larger major metros. I think about Atlanta. Atlanta is really going through it right now. And I have some friends who personally operate down there and have had to deal with this. So professionals are people who understand the rules, understand how to get access to these properties, and take it over and have every intention on staying there until it becomes too difficult or inconvenient to stay. And so that might be through legal proceedings. They really can have a high tolerance for uncomfortability. So when confronted with, hey, you're not supposed to be here, you're here illegally, things like this does not scare this kind of person. They know what they're doing, and they're often very knowledgeable in how to get away with it. And so again, here in North Central Pennsylvania, I'm not seeing that. That is not something I've seen happen. I don't live in any kind of fear of that. What those people who like to do that mostly like to do here is be the scammer, right? They see a lot more benefit in being the scammer and getting the money. And so they're stealing ads and doing things like this. All right, so what therefore shall we do? The basic tenants always remain the same. So we're going to be very attentive to that property. We're going to secure it securely. We won't be keeping keys in mailboxes, under doormats, under rocks, above door frames. We're going to secure them in lock boxes or not at all at the property. That's step one. Have it be properly lit. That's another step. And then last, you want to visit it often so you know what's going on. If there are neighbors to the property, you might consider asking them to give you a call if they see something happening, if they see somebody moving in, and keeping them up to date. So maybe they know to expect people moving in on Saturday so that when they see a move-in happening Thursday prior, they might call and speak with you to make sure that there isn't anything going on. Really common sense tips. I know a lot of people are using technology and things like this to help monitor their vacant properties, and that's a great idea. It's just not anything I'm personally doing or see the need for here in my market just yet. But tell me what you're doing in your market, the kinds of squatter situations you're encountering, and what the tenor of that conversation is. Love to hear.